Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got a balanced rack, but I don't think I have a bingo here. I would have modifier with an M. So, how to sort the rack out? I normally play short, but I can't see a good way of doing that. And this is 26. Oh, wow, that's the danger with keeping a couple of vowels. I draw 4 more. K-A-I-E is good. That's one way of sorting this rack out. I think fakey may be good. A-K-I-E. That could be spelt E-Y at the end. K-K-A-I-E currently plays above the top of Fjord. I wonder if there were alternative plays with that opening rack. But I don't think they would have scored much more. It's good to have a scoring tile with all these vowels. It makes playing rather than changing more likely. I do have oik, but I think retaining 5 vowels is a bit grim. So is there anywhere else for K? K-A-I-E? Don't think so. And anything else involving the F? Not that I can see. If my K spot is blocked, I may change, keeping just the E. Oh, wow, both blanks for opponent. Fantastic start. And they block my K spot. Have they provided a new one? They have, and it's a better one. So I've got K here for 32. And I'm not out of the woods. 5 vowels, so there could be a vowel shortage towards the end. Cutie is good. But do I have a bingo here? There are quite a few 5 vowel 8s. And it would need to go through a consonant, so there's R and D. Wow. I'm thinking, well, Q-iter involves R and D, so I don't have that. And N. So I've got the un prefix and the uni prefix. I'm not seeing a bingo. So is there anywhere for cutie? Nothing around the bottom left. This is too good to change. Even a low score would be better than changing. Only a T goes to the right of KI. So I also have etui on my rack. Nowhere great for that. Just looking to see if I can play in row G. But I think that would need an IDI play. I'm not seeing one. So what about doing this euretic, totally sorting the rack out, only providing a hotspot if you've got an H, in which case you've got a very hot spot because CH is good. 10 points. Maybe that's too much of a hot spot to provide. What about doing this? A better rack leave, only 1 fewer point, and not providing that hot H spot. Although I am providing quite a nice Y spot, I'm going with this. Well, I've just blocked hermetic. And I'm not seeing a 7 with this rack. But I have 3 scoring tiles. Oh, and I draw an H, of course. Column 8 available for plays with H in 6th place. But that's not going to be as hot as if the C were next to the double letter square. So I'm not seeing anything with the C. What about N and E? No. 37 for opponent. Wow, big score. And I now have access to row O, but what do I have in that spot? I have ethic. Do I have anything else? 32 points, quite decent, setting up a really hot X spot. So is this the play? Or I could play tech for one fewer point, avoiding that danger at the expense of retaining an extra vowel. However, a lot of the I's have gone. None of my scoring tiles go underneath the I. Yeah, I am going with this. Well, a nice balanced rack. Good to see the Z. Not seeing a bingo with this rack. But I should have options. Tech takes an S and a Y. Great, only 26 points. So, can I get rid of the Z and the U? Well, I've got cuz in row F, but cruisy would be much better because it would get the Z tripled at the expense of wrecking the rack. But it does get rid of the U with the Z, and I only trail by 60. So this is what I'm thinking of for 37 points, decent rack leave. Could be hit heavily in column 11, but the board is available to both of us. So anywhere else good for the Z. Let me just put this back. Nothing in column 8. Still 3 S's to come. Now, a buy is good. So I've got Maze here for 46, making the Z available for a big score and retaining the U. That's 46. This is 37, 9 fewer points, but the Z is far less available, and I'm retaining an A for a buy. But do I have a play beginning ZA? If I had another A, I would have Zamia. Well, I have Mazia, which doesn't make the Z particularly available. It's 48 points. I think this is worth doing, even though I'm retaining the U. Mazia for 48. Great. I dodge the U's. And I think out edge doesn't take a D. If it does, then that plays in column 13. I'm just wondering about D gouted. That may be good. That may be the valid play when out-edged is not valid, but that E could easily go. The I under the double word square is hot. And I'm not seeing a bingo anywhere else. What about N and E? I've got the UN prefix. Nope, not seeing anything there. No scoring tiles on my rack. I trail by 11. So, what to do? I have good in column 14, which sorts the rack out. That also may be blocked. I Oh, wow. Opponent bingos, but the out-edged and degouted spot remains available. Let me try degouted first. And it's good. Fantastic. And I've set up a hotspot in row H. But that means, given that I trail, that I've also got the floaters in ribless. I'll have first dibs at one of those two hotspots. Wow, close to a back-to-back bingo. But I don't think I have one, despite the floating I. So I'll be looking to, well, get rid of V, possibly G, possibly one of the R's. I have vert in row H. Wow, degouted has set up a hot X spot. Still a Y to come for NYE. I have veg in column 8. I'm wondering if ribless has any front hooks. Possibly C, D, C or D, and possibly neither. There's also a hot X spot next to the E of ribless, so it may be worthwhile trying to turn over tiles to get the X. I think grieve is good. It doesn't get the R doubled, but it does sort out the duplicate R. Opponent's got 7 random tiles, so they may have a shocking rack, or they may have a nice one. Ab is good, so I have Vega in column 8. That's nice, so I've got 2 30-plus point plays available. Great, an opponent only gets 24. Does the O give me anything? I've got the over prefix or suffix. No. So this is going to tighten the board up. It's going to give me 37, 248. There's only going to be 4 points between us. TRR. Well, I need to avoid the T's and draw some vowels. 37 points. I don't think I'm going to score more than this. Great, I do draw vowels. I miss the X and 2 X spots still available. So do I have a bingo here? Alterer and alert and relator. But are there any 7-letter lanes? I don't think there are. So, what about the O? No, not seeing anything with that. So I've got ER to go with the 2 sets of ER on my rack. Re-alterer. I don't think that's good. What about GI? Not seeing anything. What about AB? It could end ABLE. Re-rateable. No, I don't think so. How about this L? No. What about the V? It could end, well, I don't have a vowel for going next to the G, so that's not available. This is going to be a tight one unless opponent has got an X, in which case I'll be chasing the game. And at the moment, this O is the only floater. Great, only 17 for opponent. Abai takes an E. Jin doesn't take anything I've got, so opponent has not opened a new lane. NY takes an A in front and an E after it. Now, is re-alterer really not good? I think if it was good, it would be in my 9-letter card box. And it's not ringing any bells. Now, Well, NY has obstructed this X spot. XI still plays, but that's it. What about taking out this X spot down here? That's difficult to do. What about scoring off the Z? That's also difficult to do. Well, unless I do this. Tres for 26, that's quite decent. This is a balanced rack leave. Let me just take this back because there's N and E also available for as bingo floaters, and E and O. Nothing there. And also the F is available for plays ending life. So is Tres the play? I think it is, because I've only got 1 pointers and this is 26 points. I'm going with this. Not a good pick. This rack leave doesn't go well with the O, and I missed the X. This rack leave also doesn't, this rack doesn't go well with ER. If I use the abai hook, I'll be burning my E, which is a nice tile. And no scoring tiles. What I do have, though, is a tile that can go next to the G in the O. So I could play Levo in that spot, which takes out the Ox danger. Roven also. Let me count the remaining vowels. 11 out of 28, slightly vowel dry, as might be expected given the racks at the beginning of the game with lots of vowels. Now surely if opponent had an X they would have played it. I lead by 5, this is a close one. Now is there a 7 with this rack in case opponent opens the board? Don't think so, although it doesn't look far off. I'm not a massive fan of Levo. It doesn't score very much, and the rack leave isn't great. AANR. Well, there are A's and N's to come. I think this must be about my 3rd rack on the trot that I've had only 1 pointers. It makes it very difficult to score. But now Ton takes an S and there's only 1 S to come, so an opponent's got only 2 points. But that probably means they don't have the X. Is there any way of blocking this? Well, I guess a play onto the D. But what can I do in that spot? Lord takes an A in front. Nothing goes between Ton and E. 10 minutes on my clock, so fortunately there is time to consider this play. I'm thinking if opponent does have a bingo, it might be sensible to keep this O available and this L. I could have a play ending AL. So I want to leave myself with the best possible rack leave. What would that look like? I guess playing off A and O. Aura for 14. Do I play the L as well? I think so. L, N and R, although they are bingo-y altogether, I feel they're less so. And given the vowel shortage, I'm not worried about being swamped with vowels. 8 minutes on my clock. Is oral the play? I'm not going to score much more than this anywhere else. And I think I would like to keep the board open. Well, I'm just wondering if I should try to block stun. The only other bingo lane, well, there's the O of Levo, there's the L. They're very restricted opportunities, so if I could block stun, I may well be frustrating opponents' ability to bingo. 7 minutes on my clock. FEU is good, and FOU. I think it's row G, but I'm really looking at a 3-letter play. If I stick a tile in the open, that becomes a floater. I'm not seeing anything good. I'm going with oral for 16. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything with the O. Nothing ending AL. Wow, opponent played off 2 tiles and drew the X. Just 6 points between us. Relearnt through an L. Well, I don't have enough A. I have too many A's for that. There's still ER for 9-letter plays. Just 6 points. There's quite a lot of non-bingo-y stuff to draw. This O is still available. I've only got 1-point tiles. Vax is good. So what about doing this just for the points? Opponent may not have a bingo. I'm still keeping alive the L for an AL ending play. Yeah, I think this is a decent score. Gay for 19. Oh, wow, 2 N's, brutal. And still 1 more to come. And still only 1-point tiles, despite the J, the Q, the W and P's all being in the unseen pool. Opponent played off just 1 tile, so I am anticipating a bingo coming down. Opponent has signalled they've got the S. And that they didn't have the Q. Wow, this is an awful rack, because I don't want to play off any of my vowels, and I do want to play off 2 N's. So my pleasure at spotting gay has been somewhat diminished by the pick of 2 N's. Not seeing anywhere for even 1 N to go. I may need to burn a vowel to get rid of 2 of them. 8 vowels out of 20, so it's not massively unbalanced. This S hook is only really useful for a bingo, unless you've got a 5-letter Q play. Any other play is going to offer too much in column 1. I've still got an E for a buy, but the E is a nice tile and there are only 2 to come. Wow, I lead, but that is slender. 20 points for opponent. So is there anywhere for two ends to be played and just two ends? I've got nan and n. Wow, look at this. I think equerry is good. This is a 7-letter lane ending in E, which I've completely overlooked. Wow. I wonder if I had a bingo earlier which would have fitted there. That makes it even more important to hang on to the E. 5 minutes on my clock, 11 tiles in the bag. So I trail, but only by 7. The remaining pool not massively bingo-y, so opponent could well just not have a bingo. Only 6 points. But if I draw even one vowel, I'll have a decent 5-letter set. Gin is good with an N. I hope I didn't miss that earlier. 4 minutes on my clock. So is there a play involving two N's? I don't think there is. 20 points. Keeping two N's with one in the bag. I don't like that. But that's another decent 7-letter lane. Something something N-E. So one last look for places to play two N's. I don't think there are any. Yeah, I'm not seeing anywhere. So I am going with nan, and this could be terrible. And it is. I draw the Q. That's a shame. So still one U unseen, but the Q was really the tile I was looking to avoid. I do have cat on my rack, but this is a tight board, so there may not be a spot for it. Through an A, I would have canat. Now, opponents played just one tile, 2 minutes on my clock, 7 tiles in the bag. Is there anywhere for the Q? I've got trank as well, but I think that's another homeless play. Oh, if I had an I could play cade. Any I's available for QI? No. I'm going to change. I'm going to change just the Q. So I have pattern and reptant, neither of which ends in E. So I don't have a bingo unless patterner is good. And that could be repattern. I think it is repattern. Let me just check. Not good. Okay, so do either of my bingos plays? I don't think so. Opponent empties the bag. They've got J, Q, and W, but they've also got a 70-point lead. So nothing with the L, nothing ending ER. I think it's just repattern, nothing through gin. Nothing in column 11. Row E's been blocked. Yeah, and neither of my bingos plays in columns 1 or 3. So I think I need to try and score to go out in 2 and catch opponent, but I don't think that's going to be enough. And opponent's got to play through the U. They've got Quem. One minute on my clock. So I've got Nape. For 32. But am I going out with TRR? Possibly not. I do have to use the N. I'm playing this because I'm short on time. So TRR. Well, I can play Tats, but that doesn't play off all of my tiles. Wow, what an intense game. Yeah, there's no floating vowels to get rid of these. Opponent 6 minutes, 25 seconds on my clock. Could opponent be stuck with the Q? That's worth 20 points if they are. So how can I maximise my score? Well, opponent's not stuck with the Q. 19 seconds. I've got row and nurse, so I'm not stuck. And opponent just too far ahead for me to catch. So if I had gone out, I would have got 38 points in count back. So it's possible if I could have gone out with RTT or found a 2-move out with the pattern rack, that it could have been very close indeed. Another bingo lane, row E, through this L, because NYE is good. Five minutes on opponent's clock. So where's best for my R, given that opponent isn't going out with this rack? There's Ner for 3, row for anywhere better for the R. 12 seconds on my clock. Five seconds, I'm going with this. And the final score, 383 for me, 415 for opponent, a winning margin of 32 points, so well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, that felt immensely intense. And it also felt like there were a lot of misses. Let's see. So I play Fjord. Yeah, and Fjord keeping EI doesn't seem a bad play. There's lots of consonants on the board to help with the vowel keep. Nice rack for opponent. And not easy to find a bingo with that, but there were plenty there, and opponent found Dianoias. So I have this horror show, but I have K for 32 to get me out of jail. Opponent plays wife. And now this is a problematic rack. G3, CD, retaining the U. What do? I play Curie for 8 fewer points. Does the U damage EIT by 8 points? I think it's pretty close, and it could easily be 8 points. So EIT, E and T are good. That's positive. I, not bad. So I think this is probably plus 2, but the U drags it back a lot to maybe minus 7 or 8. So there could be an 8-point difference in valuation. So I'm happy with my play. Opponent with Noirish doesn't see it. Plays Hoisin. Wow. And Roynish, the anagram. Now, E3, Chime and Ecurie. Okay. I play Tech for 31. E-Metic available. Oh, wow. Getting the C doubled. There was a way of reaching that double letter square. That would have been the play, I think. 41 points. And Techie also playable by putting a vowel under this triple letter square. Okay, so opponent's rack plays by. Oh my word, Morsia's good. What a miss. Ouch. Morsia for 100 points, where I play Mazia. Wow. And Zaire also playable for 56. And here it is, Mazia for 48. Wow. Okay. Now, opponent's rack plays Ribblus. And I have degouted. Note that out-edge doesn't appear, so that's not good. But out-dodge was playable, K5, beginning with the O of Dianoias because of Curiette. Wow. I'm still hurting from the Morsia miss. 100 points left on the table. But I do get this bingo down. And there's only 17 points between us. Opponent plays Levo. And Vega for 37. That looks fine. Opponent plays Nye. Phew, no missed bingo here. I played Trez. I could have played Raise for 30, but there was a vowel shortage, so I prefer my play. Opponent's rack, and I think this is where they play Ton. Yep, keeping Nurse, which I think is a nice play, given that that is the last S in the bag. Now I play Oral for 16, only 8 more points on offer. B10 Anion, that's quite nice. Keeping Real. Yeah, I don't think Oral is terrible. Opponent with the X plays Ox. Wow, look at that, look how low these scores are. I play Gay for 19, and I like that. This is a nice 5-letter set. Opponent still doesn't have a bingo, but close. Plays Go. And now this is where I drew 2 N's. And although I only trail by 7, this is an awful rack. And this 5-point play wrecks it. B11. Yeah, the score's 24 points, so possibly worth considering. I play Nan for 6, trying to retain a decent 5-letter set, which I do. All these rack leaves are awful. Still no bingo for opponent. They play just the L. I've drawn the Q. And I couldn't see anywhere to play it. There isn't anywhere. So I changed. And now opponent does have this bingo, and it's the only one. Playable across to make a Curie or down to make Stun. So here we go. This is the end game. The bag is empty. I've got Reptant and Pattern. There is no bingo. Interesting, there is Petar G1. because of a stun for 39 points, 346, 39 points, 354. I would have trailed by 34. I wouldn't have blocked Quim, but Quim doesn't score that much, and then I get all the points from J and W, so I think that would have been super close. But I don't play that, I play Nape. Opponent plays Chi. Now, was there an out? There was! Oh my word. K5. Otar and Curiette. 13 points. 360. I would have trailed by 45. And I would have got 38, so it would have been a 7-point loss. But I don't play that, I play Tat. Opponent gets their J down, and Peer for 6 was best. So, what a game. Super close in the end, and it came down to opponent getting Uranus down and not being able to respond with a big enough out in 2 to win the game. But lots of very difficult racks and very interesting to consider the options available. Morsia, super painful, but all you can do is learn from your mistakes. So many congratulations to opponent on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.